Hi, my name is Cheyenne Bird, and the topic for my presentation is multiple births. I chose this topic because, for one, I am a twin. I have a twin sister, and growing up, I've always been interested in learning about twins, triplets, and multiples. So I want to pick a topic where I could relate to and had some sort of knowledge of. So first starting off, what are multiple births? Well, multiple births is when the woman is carrying more than one baby at a time. They only make up only about 3 in 100 births. Statistics shows that following the year of 1980, 70% of the twin birth rate has increased. So there are different types of multiples. So twins, which are two babies, triplets, quintuplets, sextuplets. I've even heard that there could be up to like 9 babies, which is crazy and amazing at the same time. So what causes women to get pregnant with multiples? Well, there are two causes. So one is monozygotic twinning, which is when one fertilized egg splits before it implants in the uterine lining. And then the dizygotic twinning is when two or more separate eggs are fertilized by different sperm at the same time. So differences between identical and fraternal multiples. Well, identical twins is when a zygote is created and later splits. They are identical, which means they will look alike and be the same gender. So identical twins are most likely to be girl, girl, and boy, boy. Fraternal multiples are when they are created from unconnected eggs that are impregnated by separate sperm. They tend to not look alike and not be the same gender. So there are two pictures I show of the two girls. They are identical twins. And then in my second picture, they are triplets and they are fraternal triplets. So what are the chances of women having multiples? Well, I have 4 up here. So fertility treatment, women in their 30s, having multiples in the family, and ethnicity. So fertility treatment, that is when a medical procedure, which is called IVF, that is when the doctor combines the egg and the sperm and become a fertilized egg, and it is then inserted in the woman's uterus. And women in their 30s, so women in their 30s or older has a bigger chance of having multiples because they tend to dismiss more eggs than just one during their cycles. Having multiples in the family, it is common for people who have multiples in their family to have multiples of their own. So twin girls could have twins of their own, triplets could have triplets or twins of their own. In ethnicity, so Black women are most likely to have twins out of any race. Asian Americans are less likely to have twins, and white women who are older than 35 are most likely to have multiple births out of everyone else. Symptoms and signs of multiple pregnancies. So I have morning sickness, sore or very tender breasts, HCG levels, high amounts of protein, alpha fetal protein in your blood, gaining weight quickly in the first semester, and your uterus being larger than usual. So these are all the signs that pregnant women can look out for if they are having twins or multiples. How multiple births affect a woman's health. So they could have preterm labor, anemia, which is when the mother has unhealthy red blood cells to the point that it is not enough to transport oxygen to the rest of their body, gestational hypertension, and preeclampsia. That is when the mother's blood pressure is too high to the point that it affects their liver and kidneys and causes them to not work appropriately. Miscarriage and stillbirth, postpartum depression, and lastly, postpartum hemorrhage, which is when the mother has heavy bleeding after giving birth. So, how multiple births affect a woman's baby's health? So, they can have preterm birth, birth defects, growth problems. Sometimes women have multiples. One or two babies might be smaller than the rest. When that happens, that is called discordant twins. Sometimes the babies can be have low birth weight, which is when they weigh less than 5 pounds and 8 ounces. Twin transfusion syndrome. This happens when identical twins share a placenta and one baby gets too much blood flow while the other baby doesn't get enough. And neonatal birth, which is when a baby dies in the first 28 days of their life. How multiple births affect the family, society, and medical world? Well, first, it can affect the family because it can cause the parents to have disagreements, cause them to feel stressed, and cause parents to not have time for their partners because their schedules are busy from taking care of their babies. Um, it can cause confusion with knowing which baby is who, especially with having identical twins. So sometimes families do have a difficult time in the beginning when because they can't remember which baby is who. So sometimes parents do tend to give like their baby a specific color that represents them, or give them like a wristband with their name on it, just to help them identify their baby, just because they look so much alike. And for the parents, finding the time for themselves can be hard sometimes, and finding a nice balance so parents can focus on their self-care. So it is hard for parents sometimes finding time to for themselves so they can have a better well-being and mental health. So it can affect the society because the cost for diapers, clothes, food, toys, car seats, high chairs are expensive, especially when a family has a set of multiples. Um, with having a bigger, with having a lot of kids, it can cause people to want to get a bigger house and a bigger car, but because a lot of families aren't financially stable or don't have the help, it can be overwhelming. People who have a set of emotions sometimes feel like they are judged by others. People are always curious and have a lot of questions. So it can cause people to be nosy and want to know how it is taking care of multiples. It can affect the medical world. So the cost of medicine for multiples can also be expensive, and the cost of healthcare for the delivery of twins is more expensive than having just one baby. So with twins, I mean multiples, twins, triplets, women are most likely to have a C-section. So on top of having a C-section and having multiple twins, the cost in the hospital bill can be really expensive at the end of the day. How people can help parents who struggle with having multiple births. So having family and friends over to help with the babies can be helpful. Seeking help with feeding babies, bathing them, and babysitting them while the parents run errands can help. A lot of times families don't have that support system, so it is important for people to have um, help and seek help, and don't be afraid to seek help. And here are my references. All right, thank you.